channel. Today's story is going to be a very scary one. This happened to my friend. She was only 16 years old when this happened. I had a friend in high school who I'll call Lauren. She was always so happy and bubbly, and while she was super pretty, she would never admit it. In fact, if you asked her, she'd probably say that she was the ugliest girl in the school. Of course, we'd all tell her that wasn't true, but she just didn't see it. She was so insecure about herself. Anyways, one day, Lauren was walking home from school. It was a sunny day out, but dark clouds were gathering on the horizon, and the sky was filled with the screech of birds as they flew home for the night. The wind picked up, rustling the leaves in the trees and making them dance around in all directions. Lauren pulled her sweater tighter around herself as she walked. The wind was picking up, and she could feel the first raindrops hit her skin. She quickened her pace, pulling her hood up over her head. As she rounded a corner, she saw him, a guy she'd had a huge crush on last year. His name was Alex, and he was incredibly cute. But he had a girlfriend now. Lauren quickly looked away, trying not to seem like she was checking him out. She didn't want her best friend Kate to find out because Kate was insanely jealous of Alex's girlfriend, Jessica. As Lauren continued on her way, she heard footsteps behind her. She didn't think much of it. Maybe it was someone from school. As the footsteps got closer, though, she could hear their heavy breathing. She could also hear them talking, but she couldn't make out what they were saying. As she picked up her pace, so did they. And soon she could feel their hot breath on her neck. She turned around and screamed. It was Alex and his girlfriend, Jessica. "Alex, what are you doing?" she asked, her voice shaking. He shrugged innocently. "I was just walking home from school, same as you." Then Jessica spoke. Her voice was cold. "Well, don't walk so slow next time. You almost made us miss the bus." Lauren tried to get past her, but Jessica blocked her way. "What's your problem?" she demanded. "Get out of my way." Lauren felt tears pricking at her eyes, but she blinked them away. She didn't want Jessica to know that she was getting to her. "Why do you always have to be so mean to me?" she whispered. Jessica stepped close to her, her face inches from Lauren's. "Because I hate you," she hissed, and then she shoved her. Lauren stumbled back, tripping over the curb and falling onto the sidewalk. She scraped her palm on the concrete, but she didn't even care. She scrambled to her feet and ran. She could hear Jessica screaming for her to come back, but she didn't listen. She just kept running, tears streaming down her face. Finally, she reached her house, fumbling with her keys until she could get inside. Once she was in her room, she locked the door and slid down the door with her back against it, letting the tears finally fall. She cried for what felt like hours, even though it was probably only a few minutes. When she finally stopped crying, she went to the bathroom to look at the scrape on her arm. It was bad. She pressed the cold water on her face and then looked at her reflection. Her eyes were red and puffy from crying. She splashed some more water on her face and then went back to her room to clean up the cut. As she was cleaning the cut, she noticed something strange. Her reflection in the mirror wasn't looking at the cut. She was looking at the closet door. Lauren slowly turned her head to look at the closet door. It was slightly ajar. She had sworn she had closed it before she left for school. Was it the wind? She shook her head and shrugged it off. Probably she got ready for bed and then slipped under the covers. She tried to get cozy, but she couldn't help but feel like she was being watched. Every time she thought she heard a creak in the house, she jumped. Finally, she got tired enough that she was able to go to sleep, but she couldn't stay asleep for long. She kept having nightmares about Jessica chasing her, trying to hurt her. Each time she woke up, she would lay in bed with her eyes open, staring into the darkness of her room. In the morning, she told her mom about what had happened the day before, but her mom just laughed it off. "Oh, don't be silly. She wouldn't really do that." But Lauren knew her mom was wrong. Jessica would totally do that. She didn't want to go to school, but her mom told her she couldn't stay home just because she had a fight with a girl. So she got on the bus and rode to school in silence. When she got off the bus, she saw Jessica waiting for her with a group of girls. She could already tell that this was going to be a long day. Days went by, and Lauren could feel herself getting more and more tired. She started falling asleep in every class, and she couldn't focus on anything. All she could think about was Jessica and what she was going to do to her next. One night, Lauren came home from school early. Her mom wasn't home yet, so she decided to take a nap. As she was drifting off to sleep, she could have sworn she heard someone enter the house. But when she opened her eyes, she was in her room alone. She must have just been imagining things, right? She closed her eyes again, but she couldn't get back to sleep. So she got up and went to the window. She was sitting on her bed looking out the window when she heard a noise in the closet. She froze, listening intently. Was it the wind? What was that noise? She needed to get out of there. She quickly got off her bed and ran out of her room, down the hallway and out the front door. She didn't stop running until she reached her best friend's house. She pounded on the door, and soon her mom opened it. "What are you doing here?" she asked. "Can I please come in?" Lauren asked, her voice shaky. Her friend's mom looked at her, then opened the door wider. "Of course, come in. What's wrong?" Lauren took a deep breath. "I think someone's in my house." Her friend's mom looked at her strangely, but she didn't argue. She knew Lauren was a good kid and wouldn't lie about something like that. She walked with Lauren back to her house. The two of them stood on Lauren's porch, listening intently. They heard a noise in the house. I definitely heard something, Lauren whispered. Her friend's mom nodded. All right, let's call the police. When the police arrived, they searched the house, but they didn't find anyone. Lauren's mom came home while the police were there, and she was furious when she heard what had happened. I'm gonna call Jessica's parents, and we're gonna have a talk, she said. But Lauren stopped her. No, don't do that. I don't want you to do that. Are you sure? Her mom asked. But Lauren nodded her head. The police eventually left, and her mom pulled her into a hug. I'm sorry this happened to you, honey, she whispered. After the police left, Lauren never felt safe in her house ever again. She slept in her friend's house most nights, and she always had her phone with her so that she could call her friend S-Mom if she needed to. One night, Lauren was staying at her friend's house, and she couldn't get to sleep no matter how hard she tried. She was laying in bed staring up at the ceiling when she heard a knock on the window. She sat up in bed, listening intently. She heard another knock, and then she saw a face. It was Alex. He was standing outside her window, and he was banging on the glass. She could see the concern on his face, and he was frantically waving for her to come to the window. She quickly got out of bed and ran to the window. She opened it and climbed out. What are you doing here? She whispered. I need your help, he said urgently. Jessica, she's gone missing. We haven't seen her all day, and her parents are worried sick. Lauren felt a pang of sympathy for Jessica, but she quickly pushed it aside.